Hello and welcome to Rush Racing League, where we return for Division 4 coverage. And it is Easter weekend, so happy Easter to everyone out there right now. It is Season 8, and it's time for Round 12 as we head to the Austrian Grand Prix. 43 times this place has been held in real life, formerly known as the Österreich Ring. It's a 4.3 kilometer, 2.6 mile, 10-turn wild ride at the beautiful Styrian location, nestled away in the hills, unpredictable in every sense of the word, and we're going to have a fantastic Grand Prix here today. Different format for tonight's race as well, a one-shot qualifying and a 71-lap race. This is going to be absolutely spectacular. My name is George Cook, also known as Crazy Good Kung Fu, and joining me in the commentary box today, it's Dido. Hi, Dido. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you? It's a bit different to be on the opposite side of the comms box tonight with you, mate.
Yeah, that's right. For once, you're not having to multitask in 15,000 different ways. That is always a good bit of fun. You'll be able to give us your critical insights into today's racing as we head out on circuit. And 71 laps is, it's a big, long race. It's a, hour 15, hour 30 while we're up there. So that's going to be tricky. And then, of course, the one-shot quali. So, what's the mindset? What's the difference between this and a regular weekend?
Oh, it's huge, man. I mean, obviously, sprints have been usually what we do for Austria for the last few seasons. I'd say it's very rare we've done 100% here. So yeah, it's really cool to see. One shot is huge here. I mean, if you think about that turn one on a normal quali session, it's already a gamble to not invalidate there. But in that one shot, it can really be on the back of your mind. And one invalidate, obviously, you don't get another chance. So huge stakes tonight. We haven't really seen much one shots this season compared to last, obviously. So it does spice things up, mate. So I'm keen, but at the same time, as a driver, it's not fun.
No, 100% not.
Hello there.
Oh, and then we've suddenly got Dynasty Sparrow joining us in the live comms box right now. Welcome in, Dynasty. I hope you realize that we are currently live on the channel, but welcome into the commentary box.
How are we, boys?
Very good, thanks. And how are you doing?
Good. Looking forward to the race.
Excellent. Do we need to discuss something, Dynasty?
No, I was just coming in here to say we are good to go green.
Yeah,
excellent.
Hit the 505, so we're well and truly green. So good luck, mate.
Fantastic.
Yep. Good luck with the comms, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, there you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard from our race host today, Dynasty. We are 10 seconds away from the beginning of the one shot. I will talk to you a little bit about where things are standing with the Constructors' Championship, the Drivers' Championship, and, of course, that fantastic round at Baku last week at Azerbaijan. Absolutely fantastic, and we were really, really excited in that race. SJ and I had a great time in the commentary box. Welcome in to everyone in the chat over on Twitch. And a big thanks, of course, to our sponsors, AI369, and our other sponsors, S Nation, SimLab, I should say, and Pagnian. Not SimLag. Could you imagine being called that? That would be a pretty interesting name.
Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy. But we are loading in now. And this, like we said, obviously with the one shot, these guys have to be quick on their feet, get the setup on. No time to obviously lean into it. I guess you go straight into the flyer, so it's hectic. And yeah, I'm nervous for them, mate. I haven't seen Austria like this for a while, so this is an exciting one, mate.
For sure, yeah, one shot. A lot of nerves going to be out there for that one lap, and this has the chance to really mix up the field. Will we see Aston Martin drivers up there on the top of the grid doing the thing that they need to do? Their latter half of the season absolutely critical as they try and catch up to the back of Mercedes. Speaking of which, Constructors' Championship for Division 4 stands like this: 326 points for Mercedes. And Aston Martin in P2 on 296. That's a 30-point difference. And they are rapidly catching up with a series of good results all the way through. Last time out at Baku is certainly an interesting end to the race. And Mercedes and Aston Martin both fell afoul of some very, very tricky driving at that intense street circuit. We are now loaded in. Thank goodness for that. There was a little bit of lag involved, but we are now in. So let me get all the cameras enabled. And yeah, tell us a little bit more about this track. Turn 1, obviously very tricky. Technically turn 2, but turn 3, Remus. At the end of that straight, also a really tricky place.
Yeah, I mean, that first corner kind of dictates your whole lap, really. I mean, if you get that wrong, it can really hurt you. But yeah, first corner, really daunting. If you go through there, happy days. And obviously the third corner, hard braking zone, and where a lot of overtakes as we're riding on board with Meso coming through this fast right-hander. Real hard corner to get right, trail braking. But Meso in control here. This is a solid lap so far for him in the Visa Cash App, and he is getting it all right. And this is where a lot of guys make mistakes, and he has a big snap going in there, absolutely chucking everything. Still on P1, so he is on fire at the moment. He's flashing. He's going to come through this right-hander. This is where we see invalidations as well, mate, through this last corner. And he's really flicking it in. He's really confident in that rear end, and it looks like Meso's going to... Oh, Nova just gets it in the end.
Wow. That was super quick and super close. Meso will get second there, and the one-shot quali is all done. So we'll go to our results and see what's actually happened. Nova has taken it. Scudero Ferrari with a 104.104. He's 66 hundredths of a second in front of Meso for Visa Cash App RB. The Racing Bull has put on a great performance. Cooper the bot in P3 for Kick Sauber. Master wasn't able to put in a good enough lap to get up onto the top of the grid. Sammy the Slammer, another great qualifying for him, followed by 2A. Ricardo, surprised to see an Aston Martin in 7th. Then it's Pep, Gangster, Dynasty for Mercedes, Panic, Maddie AU, and looking a little bit further down the grid here, if we can manage to get through there in time. Does he governor? No, we just missed it, unfortunately. So we'll look at the rest of the grid as we go onto that. That is if I'm honest with you, Dino, that is a commentator's nightmare to have to go through so quickly. And it's raining. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm so excited now. Welcome into everyone in chat. This is going to be a spicy race. We've got 71 laps, 100% race ahead of us here. We've already got Danger saying in chat, Matty for pole. Wreckers saying, good evening, gents. Good evening, mate. Sandy saying, Rush Racing, been a minute. Excited to watch this one. Glad you're in. Thunder is recognizing that there is rain, saying, OMG, rain. Danger saying Matty wins by 12 seconds. Well, I think unfortunately for Cooper, Dido, Cooper hates the rain. He hasn't got pace in the rain.
No.
So he's going to be a frustrated man, I suspect.
Yeah, I would say so, mate. It's always interesting. Like, if the boys knew it was raining, they may have chucked a wet setup on. If they didn't, obviously they may have gone for dry. But also, we don't know if it's raining the whole race. So they could possibly be hoping that the rain stops. I don't know, mate. It could be interesting. What's the go here? Everyone likes the rain differently. I personally love it, but I mean, yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. As we are about to go green,
here we
now
go.
that you take it away.
There we go. All right, 4 lights, 5 lights, and the rain pouring down at the moment on the circuit, and away we go. Who's going to get off the line correctly? Looks like Master has had a bad run off the line, and Fat Eagle is just behind Nova. No, that's going to be an incorrect timing tower. Nova is in the lead. He's got a bad run through turn 1. Meso and the Racing Bulls already coming up on his inside, and that's potentially going to be over to take as they head towards Remus for the first time. Chaotic track in the dry. This is going to be a chaotic track in the wet. Cooper the bot has managed to find his way up to 3rd place, followed by Master. Sammy the Slammer having a decent run of it, and that's a safety car. Already a virtual one, albeit. Did you catch what happened there? We have had an accident almost immediately.
Yeah, mate. I'm just trying to see what's happened there. It looks like there's some chaos down the back as well, but yeah, not the start we wanted, but just watching here at the front too. Very interesting there, mate. I'm just trying to sort some out in behind the scenes, sorry, but...
That's all good. Yeah, no, we have had a very eclectic start there. Virtual safety car not 30 seconds into this race. Inters on Meso and Cooper the bot, and Two Door Gaming and Stoin. He's down in 19th. That's moon time, of course. So 4 drivers opting for the intermediates. The rest of the field out on the wet tyre. Now, whether that's going to hurt them or help them is going to be the question. A pit stop will obviously be able to rectify that for the wet drivers. Do suspect that this water will get ejected from the track rather quickly, but we shall see. Cooper, we've already got someone coming in. Nova has decided, you know what? It's time to come in already. He doesn't like the fact that he's on the wet tyre, and he's going to use this virtual safety car to try and negate the fact that he's on potentially what could be the wrong tyre. That means P1, P2 is now the Racing Bull of Meso and the Kick Sauber of Cooper the bot, both on the intermediate tyres, with the VSC likely to be going off any moment now. There it is, and we're away racing again, lap 2. And hopefully we'll get a little bit more than 2 corners of racing this time out. A few cars side by side. towards the back of the field. Then it's Master, Semi the Slammer, Ricciardo has moved up into P5 in this race, 2A, and Gangster, the two Alpines, P6 and P7, but a lot remaining on those wet tyres, and we'll see if Meso and Cooper the Bot are able to run away with this.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to try and do, mate. It's interesting here, though. Like, I would think that the track looks definitely wet enough for wets, but we know that in this game, unfortunately, the inters work almost as well as the wets, so it could have probably been an opportunity just to chuck on the inters there, but have to wait and see. Mason and Cooper the Bot in control here. They're starting to build a little bit of gap back to Master. I wonder if Master's struggling on those wet tyres. Obviously, no DRS, mate. It's all about the battery managing here. Yeah, very interesting start to the race, mate.
Wow, fascinating stuff. And Master just having a little bit of a moment into turn 9. Tricky area to get the traction down. Need to use a lot of the runoff area on the exit of these curbs. And that makes it just so extra tricky in the wet. Even just the entry in the braking zone into turn 1, you are riding the curb on the left-hand side before you duck in, get over that little hump in the middle of the apex. Very tricky to get the power down in that area, and then barrel your way down towards Remus at turn 3. Every single braking zone is really tricky, and that's in the dry. A little bit of an overtake going. Ricciardo already making some moves, and he's managed to make the move on Sammy the Slammer, moves himself up to P4, so Sammy still holding on to P5. Both of them on the wet tyre at the moment, and making a bit of progress in this race. Behind them, Stoin in P15 on the intermediates, Two-Door Gaming on the intermediate tyres, and Nova on the intermediate tyres. So the Ferraris, do we think this is a stroke of genius, pitting under the safety car there, or the virtual safety car, I should say, or is this the cow makeup coming out again?
Yeah, I think it is, mate, but I also think it was more of a stroke of genius just not starting on the wets at this stage. Like, they've got a 2-second gap now over Master. The two boys in front, they're absolutely on a charge here, and they're working together by the looks of it to try and break away here. So this could be a massive call. And like I said, mate, obviously if you're starting to see that, maybe it's the opportunity to pit early, and they're setting fastest laps too. So there you go. That shows the pace compared to the wet tyre. So yeah, stroke of genius there from Kick and RB, and whoever else started on the inters. I think that was the only two.
I think they were. I think that we had Two-Door Gaming and Stoin. They're up in P13, P14 right now, respectively. They're behind Wogjet at the moment and trying to get some pace into the cars, get some heat into those tyres and make the overtake. But I think, yeah, that it seems to be the right call for Nova, even though he was in P2 at the beginning of this race. Sorry, P1, and he started on pole position, has decided that, he's on the wrong tyre. He can probably, over the course of this longer 100% format, negate the fact that he's had that early pit stop. So there's plenty of opportunity for him to start working back through the field, and especially when people start to make other mistakes. And in this rainy race, that is almost certain to happen.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. As we see here, the gap's getting even bigger now. 3 seconds from P2 to P3. So this is not what the Astons want right now. They would absolutely be screaming for a safety car of some sort. I would say to try and bring this race back to them, because if they leave this, they have two options, obviously, to pit now and risk going to the bottom. But got to remember, these guys in front only have to pit once, and that's to go either onto another set of engines or to the dries. So
yeah. Well, I think we're starting to see the result of that, Dido, right now. I mean, 5 drivers immediately into the pits.
Yeah, and look how dry the track is now compared to it was. Like, the rain is barely coming down now, and there is a very solid dry line. This is a stroke of genius here from these top two.
Absolutely right. Yeah, no, they've started on the right tyre. Good choice. Cooper the Bot and Meso are the ones in the box seat for this race, and they are miles out ahead, followed by the Aston Martins, who are both running still on the wet tyre. On the screens right now, we've got a battle going on between the Alpine of Gangster and the Gangster Alpine, we should call it, and Dynasty Sparrow in the Mercedes. He's got Pep behind him in P7, but Dynasty Sparrow's not been making the move that he probably needs to be doing, and it's just so tricky. There's no extra grip. You go on the outside line, suddenly you find yourself in a pool of water, and there's even less grip out there. So Dynasty Sparrow not really able to use his pace at the moment versus Gangster, who has actually qualified very well in this, but that's a mistake on the exit of the S's for Gangster, and the Alpine will be overtaken. Will he try to fend? He did, but he wasn't successful in that, and it was close as Gangster peels off into the pits. That's probably why. Just wanted to be off the line. That is one of the scariest pit exits in the
Yeah,
entire calendar.
it's a terrible spot to put a pit entry.
Yeah.
It really is, but Dynasty now in clear air, he really needs to push here and try and tow his teammate along away from the likes of Stoying. But yeah, these inters are now absolutely coming into effect. They are on fire compared to the
Well,
rest of the grid.
I mean, all we have to do is just look at the Ferraris and look at what they're doing right now. I mean, we just had the positions up. The positions gained is absolutely massive. But if we look at the Ferraris right now, they're leading the pack of intermediate drivers. They've just overtaken Pep. Stoyne's up there in P6. Nova's come from the back of the field to 8th in this race. And he's only got Aston Martins and the other Mercedes ahead. So we've got 2 Ferraris charging up the field with the right strategy call. Well, this doesn't feel real, does it?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And we just got Aiden saying, guys who start on inters will have a good race if we stay green, and he's absolutely right. Like, if we don't get a safety car here, this is Meso and Cooper's bots race to lose because they've got a 5-second advantage on lap 6. I mean, anything can happen, and then we go Masters in the pits. So he's made the call. And
it looks like Pep is doing the same. Yep, Pepper's in the pits as well. Master is in the pits. The Aston Martin's obviously needing to cover that off because they've seen the Ferraris start to charge up the field. That'll be 5th, 6th now for the Ferraris. And Nova's catching up so much to Moontime that he's going to be able to help out. Nothing that Dynasty Sparrow is going to be able to do about this situation. And I believe there's only another second or so. No, sorry, it's about 3 seconds up the road for Ricciardo, who's fallen 6.4 seconds off the back of Cooper the Bot. So amazing stuff. And speaking of the top, well, we are on board now with P1, P2, and Racing Bull of Meso is under a lot of pressure from Cooper the Bot, who's been superb and superlative in terms of the dry racing. His pace has been second to none out on the track and really brought Division 4 to even more heights in terms of the fiery racing that we've had this season. And that Racing Bull is looking sideways quite a lot more often than it's going in a straight line.
Yeah, absolutely. This is getting really spicy up the top. These guys need to... Oh God, Meso continuing what he was doing in quali and just sending it into that corner. But it needs to be careful. These tyres need to last. And he's just setting fastest and fastest laps consecutively here. But these boys, if they're smart, they'll work together because they've got the advantage here. They have no one near him. Ricciardo still has to pit. So this is massive for them. And then the closest is the Ferrari of Stoyne and Nova, obviously. But no DRS is going to be massive here. I think we're going to see a dry track at some point in this race, though, mate, with 100%. The rain is barely coming down now.
Well, it was a torrential pour down at the start of the race, and now it's almost all but gone. And you're right. I mean, these cars also, with the way that the underbody works, just throwing the water out and getting rid of it. So the lighter this rain becomes, the faster the track will get. And eventually, yeah, these conditions. We saw a lot of people actually a couple of races ago jumping very early with still, moisture on the curbs, moisture in the little caveats around the track, and we saw people jump out on the dry. So, big mistake there though for Mesa on the exit of the S's, and this is an option for Cooper the Bot. He's going to go up the inside. Big defense from Mesa around the outside, gets the rear loose, but defends somehow in that Racing Bull. That's astonishing racing by these two.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was awesome. That'll be a good photo if they can screenshot that. That was a good one, but still in control, still in the lead. I don't think he swapped this lead yet in this race, so he's doing a very good job, but he is cooking those rear tyres. The more he does that, the more they are going to be on fire. And Cooper currently is just chilling and not having to push to hold up, obviously. Meso's obviously having to hold up Cooper.
Exactly.
And Cooper can just ride behind in the slipstream here, so this is benefiting Cooper massively, and he's starting to look dangerous now.
Oh, yeah. I think he really does want to attack. He realizes he has got more pace than Meso. Meso is starting to look sideways out of a lot of these corners. Is now actually reducing the overall advantage that Cooper could have in this race if he was ahead of Meso. And yeah, you can see we're on board right now with Cooper the Bot on his TV cam. You see Meso is he's squiggling, he's squirming, he's not hitting those apex. It's not quite as controlled and calm as we're seeing in Cooper the Bot's steering wheel at the moment. So it does mean that I think Cooper's just going to send it when he's got the opportunity. Wow, Meso sideways again. Turn 9 and turn 10. I mean, you're right. When you went on the board for the quali lap, Meso was just throwing the front end of the car in. I mean, that's Max Verstappen-esque. It's just turn it in, hope and prayer.
Yeah, absolutely, but it can only do that for a short amount of time before those tires start to feel it. And I think he's going to start hurting. He set the fastest lap for the last 4 laps, but that tells me that this, there you go, Nova's hit the fastest now, but that tells me the track is just drying rapidly now.
Yeah.
And we are going to see some changes here, but it's still raining, still trickling. We'll move a little bit
Oh.
further down. Semi on the back of Matty, very close to here. See if he goes for a move on the Red Bull. Doesn't look like he's going to go for it into turn one, but a lot of close battles, mate, throughout the grid. Everyone trying to just hold on. This track's hard in the wet. It really is, especially on the wrong tyre. If you're on the wet still, that'd be a struggle. I'm surprised there's so many guys on the wet still.
Yeah, and we've still got Ricciardo, who's still, he's actually doing relatively well, but I mean, he is losing time hand over fist right now to those Ferraris. Then Dynasty Sparrow in P7. He's already been overtaken by the second Kick Sauber. Two-door Gaming has come through to 6th place. And he's going to have a very quick master for Aston Martin coming up behind him in short succession. And then Flying Kiwi, the other Haas, who's in second to last position. But yeah, he's achieved somehow. He's only got 7 laps on those wets. Has he come into pit and then changed to the wet tire? I think he must have.
Yeah, I think he has, and that'd be frustrating.
And by that same token, I think Dynasty, he's only got 9 laps on the wet tires. So has he also gone back onto the wet tires?
I wonder if it was still raining pretty heavily and they might have been tanked in a lap 1 incident or something, had to get the wing change. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah. But yeah, definitely definitely a behind on a lap on the tyre. So no, Dynasty yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. We're still on board with Sammy and Matty at the moment. These two are battling ferociously.
Just having a look if I can see if he's done a stop. Dynasty hasn't, so yeah, it's just how the game does their little weird thing. You start on the wets, he's still on them, but these top two still in control. And yeah, this battle between Matty AU and Sammy is heating up too. Matty not letting him get away here either. So burning a fair bit of battery to stay with him. Sammy burning more though. He's down to 20% to try and stay in front of the Red Bull.
Oh,
bear in mind, I think there's a lot of guys reserving up tonight, mate. Matty is one of them. SJ in the McLaren also reserving up tonight. I think Gangster possibly is.
I think so, yes. I believe that we had a replacement for Alpine as a full-time drive.
Change up the top two.
Oh, yes, there certainly is. We just missed that, but that is on the exit of turn 3. And looks like Cooper's managed to get past at Remus.
Wow, and that's huge too. Sammy just gets a 3-second early on in this race. Lap 12 out of 71. That's going to hurt him. Probably just pushing a little too hard to try and stay in front of that Red Bull. It might just be the idea to pull behind and stick behind at this point.
Yeah, to be honest, you want to be using that slipstream. I mean, Cooper does this to massive effect, and now he's the one sliding the car around. So there's some sort of curse on P1 right now. It's just your car will be sideways if you're leading this race. Obviously, Cooper will be wanting to break the slipstream. Doesn't need to work together with the racing ball. Meso will be... as they come through turn 9. It's absolutely fantastic. The camera's there just capturing the sideways momentum absolutely perfectly. Absolutely love that. Cooper has gone faster yet again. Fastest lap, of course, with Cooper the bot right now. Ricciardo is still on P3, but he's only a couple of seconds ahead of the Ferraris at this stage. And just looking through, we've got a black and white flag. That's a penalty for Stoyan, the lead Ferrari in 4th place, as Nova goes fastest in this race, a 112.4. So every single lap now is a faster lap, and that rain barely a drizzle on the front windshields of their helmets.
Isn't it amazing that, we're looking at 116s, 15s, not even 2 laps ago, and these guys are down in the 12s now. So this track, it's just getting rapid, very quick. So DRS enabled.
Okay.
On the
Race control agrees. That was fantastic. So yeah, that is the typical indicator that we are 1 or 2 laps away from a possible slick coming on the cars. That is going to be a risky move, especially at a track like this, given how much curb needs to be ridden. So I suspect that'll probably be delayed somewhat. But either way, yeah, this is the track now massively ramping up. And you can see the Ferraris right on the back of Ricciardo now. We're on board there right now. Oh, Sammy had an issue. Sammy's had an issue. They've come together.
Cooper gets a free second.
Wow, Cooper. Yes, you're right. Oh, my goodness. So, well, typical Red Bull ring, isn't it, at the end of the day? Everyone's going to have a black and white flag against their name by the end.
Yeah, wow, that's super early, and that is just music to Meso's ears at this point. Yeah. Just depending on where the track is, see a lot of guys not hitting still, opting to stay out. We've got a few guys, both Ricciardo and Nova on the mediums, or Flying Keely also jumping off the wet
Wow.
tire, but geez, it's still raining.
I mean, this is a risky move on the mediums. I said a few laps. You want to wait at least a few laps. Bizarrely, though, Dynasty Sparrow has gone for another lap on the wet tyre when you've got other drivers on the track now going for... Oh, my goodness, I've just seen it. Okay, Meso has now picked up the penalty as well.
Oh,
So the off-track antics continue. I think this may well be
wow.
determined who wins this race by how few penalties you accumulate. Right now, Two Door Gaming is... technically leading this race by way of not having a penalty. He'll come into the pits. Here we go. Flood of pit activity coming in, as does Meso. Cooper is in. Looks like Stoyan will probably try and come in at some point. He's a couple of corners away. And it's slick tyres for everyone. The first one out there on the slick tyres, currently leading the pack on slicks.
Yeah.
It is Ricciardo.
Yeah, I just saw that too with Meso. Meso really cut the line there with no hesitation, unfortunately. So
Well, and apparently he cut the pit entry line as well. So he may be in
that's
double trouble.
Yeah, he's in big trouble, unfortunately. Especially when there was a video put out this morning. Oh!
What's happened? Tell us. Tell us.
I don't know. I
You
just
don't-
saw absolute cinema in the pit lane exit there. Someone looked like they had him. Oh, Pev gets a 10-second.
Oh my goodness. So Pep has also crossed the pit entry line somewhere as well. Everyone's coming in. It's complete panic and mayhem. Bedlam in the pit lane right now as you have a mix of compounds going onto the cars. Most of them are in slicks. The leader, Stoyan, that's Moontime for Ferrari. 14 lap hold intermediates. He'll be coming into the pits at some point soon because he's got Cooper the bot nearly right behind him on the medium tyre. Meso's gone for the hard. Ricciardo side by side.
Oh, Jesus. Nova and Ricciardo absolutely just sending it on each other there.
Wow.
Nova was almost on the whole left side of the track there. Geez, absolute chaos in the last few laps there, mate. Everyone trying to figure out what tyre they want to be on. Very interesting going on the softs.
Yeah, that is an interesting one for JJ Gamer. He's also reserving in for Williams this week. Wogjet, of course, his teammate up in P13 right now, and the fastest lap's just been set. We're down to a 1:10, so the track is evolving at a rate of knots right now. By the way, welcome into everyone in chat. Had some very interesting comments. People getting very surprised as to what we're seeing here. Great racing so far in Division 4. Big thanks to our sponsor, AI369. And of course, another housekeeping item here. Please use your channel points if you want a full onboard lap with someone, or if you want to use 65,000 to get yourself a vote for one of the tracks in Season 9. Do use those channel points. Do let us know. We are keeping an eye on the chat, so welcome into you all. Continuing with our battle between Nova and Ricciardo.
Yeah, this is heating up now. These guys are really pushing. Uncle Morty's the next to join the 3-second penalty list, and yeah.
Dito, I have to interrupt. We've had Dante7 redeem immediately a track selection for S9, 65,000, and he said Qatar. Okay. I believe you also, I think that's, I don't know the protocol here. You'll have to take over for that one.
Yeah, I will sort of, Josh is in the chat there. He'll screenshot that and sort that out with me later and the directors. But yeah, Qatar, very interesting choice there, Dante.
Okay, well, let's take a quick look around the grid and see where everyone's at as things do start to unfold. 17 laps into a 71-lap race. It's a palindromatic race percentage right now. Cooper the Bot is in the lead on 2-lap-old medium tyres. He's leading from Meso. 1.7 seconds is the gap between them. Hard tyre choice for Meso. Wants to run deep onto this stint. We'll see if that works out for him. He's already lost the slipstream. Then it's Ricciardo making an overtake on Nova, so they're going back and forth, these two, and actually helping to bring Moontime back into the conversation. He's the second Ferrari in P5. Both started, essentially one starter, Stoyan, started on the intermediates. Nova was in P1 at the end of the one-shot quali, jumped on to the wet tyres at the start, then pitted immediately once we had that virtual safety car and jumped on to the intermediate tyres. Then it's Master for Aston Martin, 2A for Alpine, Matty AU for Red Bull, Two Door Gaming in P9, and Dynasty Sparrow on the soft tyre in P10. Dido, it's so difficult to know where to look because there is action absolutely everywhere.
Absolutely, mate. And Two Door, oh God, I can't say it. Jesus. He is already on the yellow fuel light. Yeah, very interesting there. He might have to start lifting this very early in the race to be worrying about fuel. But hopefully a safety car or something later could sort him out. But him
Oh.
and Matty are going toe for toe here, and everyone's on a different sort of strategy. Obviously, medium's the favourable tyre at the moment, but a lot of guys on the hard tyre could probably go, maybe not to the end, I would say, but
Yeah. I mean, you can go a long distance on them, but I mean, you'll be struggling for grip. And what the question really is, do you then not expect to get another dose of rain? This is the valleys of Styria, in Austria. It could come and rain in the next 2 minutes again, as we see. Oh, Matty Ayuk making a nice move into the braking zone of turn 3. Lovely stuff, and that's a textbook overtake, really through the handbook of overtaking at that Sauber. In chat, great comments about having Monaco twice from Aiden. Rekkers saying Monaco with a sprint. 100% Monaco race is what Sick Party says. I don't think you'll get many takers. Meso with another 3-second time penalty. He's got to calm down, chap.
Oh, no. He's almost in the realms now of hitting into Ricciardo. Ricciardo's chopping into that gap. He's down to 9 seconds now. Him and Nova, though, could really put a damper on that. If Nova continues to fight Ricciardo, that will hold them up. But if they work together here, they'll be knocking on the doorstep of these top two in no time. But Cooper breaking away on those mediums, mate. He is in control here.
Massively in control. Yeah, the interval now, as you can see on your timing tower, 3.3 second gap between Cooper and Meso. Then it's an 8.8 second gap back to Nova. Ricciardo's very, very close, though, getting a big slipstream down the second straight into Schlossgol we go, turn 4. It is quite a different name when you are on the GP layout versus the motor bike layout. So Schlossgold's the one that I'm familiar with, and to a Worth curve and the infield section before we head through the S's and towards turn 9. That lovely corner before the Red Bull Mobile curve at turn 10, leading us back onto the pit straight. Precarious pit entry here as well, so got to be aware of who's behind you and what you're doing. But if a driver pulls off to the right-hand side, you don't want to be taking the apex at turn 9. Let's just put it that way. Ricciardo on a charge here. Can he make it happen down the pit straight?
Yeah, he is, mate. I think he's going to go for it here. He's got DRS open, needs to get the move done, and needs to break away from Ferrari here. But interestingly, mate, I just saw some raindrops back on track.
Oh,
so,
well. Oh, Dida, you are the bearer of great news today.
yeah. We could be going backwards here and chucking back on some wet tyres soon. But Ricciardo gets it done with no problems there, really, on Nova. And these guys are probably just going to DRS swap all the way up to the back of Mesa, and it's working. They are dropping about a second, about 0.6 off him a lap at this stage. Very good stuff from these two. Moving a little bit further down, mate, this battle in the middle pack. Dynasty on these softs haven't really probably broken as far away as he would hope, I would say, on that soft tyre.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he needs to be up there, fighting with Master and getting back up to where the Ferraris are. I mean, you put the red tyre on, you might as well be fighting with the red cars on track. He has not made the progress that he's looking for, and I suspect it's probably just due to that little bit of wetness out on the track. Those soft tyres are not maybe giving as much as he probably usually would expect from them in the situation. Because, it's not gone fully dry. We're not back to fully dry conditions at this stage, and all the slick tyres are going to be slightly struggling. Which also does come down to an interesting, point around Meso. 2A, Matty, all choosing the hard tyres. They will be able to go long in this race, but you just don't know. It's unpredictable weather. And if the rain does come back, those hard tyres, you've cost yourself a lot of time. So the medium seems to be the right choice because you're not expecting rain to come suddenly back and to help you get through another pit stop if you're on the soft tyre, as we see Matty making a move now. Will he be able to heat that stick? Yes, he has done beautifully on Two Door Gaming. Nice move there. He'll charge after 2A, just ahead of us in P7. And then if you're on the hard tyres, you're expecting the rain not to come back. So the medium tyre seems to be a sensible compromise. And I suspect even on the medium tyres, they'll try and drive through any little bit of initial rain that we get there.
Oh.
Ooh, weird graphical glitch going on. What's going on? That is 2A having a problem. He's been glitched back behind Matty.
Yeah, I think he might have disconnected for a bit there. The game will ghost you if you disconnect.
Oh, yeah, I can see a lot of latency as we're on board with him. So he's in a spot of trouble there in the Alpine.
Yeah, not good, unfortunately. He's doing very well in this race, so we'll have to see how that goes. But just touching on that earlier topic, and it might explain why Dynasty and Jay actually did chuck on the softs. If they're expecting more rain, they were probably hoping for it to be coming about now. And maybe the guys on the hards are hoping, obviously, it doesn't rain again, and that will determine which way this race goes, because obviously you don't want to use the hards now and then have to pit off them and then have to go back onto another tyre, because you'd preferably be on the hards at the end to get to the end. But
Yeah.
interesting stuff here, and Tudor actually hits the back of Matty a little bit there. No damage, but just lost it a little bit into braking. Ricciardo, though, is very close on the back of Nova, and that's down to 7.3 now.
We've got a bit of blue
So
flag
they are-
traffic in there, and that's one of the Alpines of Gangster, I think it is. Yeah, he's gotten out of the way nice and easily there, so that's good for both of them. But, I mean, they've been swapping, as you said before, Dido, they're just going to swap with the DRS constantly over and over and over again. It's exactly what they've been doing, and I'm sure they'll continue to do it for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, well, they need to use this tyre while they're on the faster tyre. Obviously, once his hard tyres take over, he'll be able to break away a little bit too. But Ricciardo and Nova at the moment, obviously on the faster tyre, they're swapping again there. So yeah, getting the job done once again. And Gangster can just try and hang on here. He's got no end plate, but yeah, a lap down, not what he would want.
Oh, yeah, the car looking a little bit worse for wear there for the Alpine. 8 laps on the hard tyres at the moment for Gangster. And Alpines have been in all sorts of awkward situations. We have a yellow flag, and I think that's JJ Gamer, P16, at the moment, has gone around. He's had an awful accident, has to wait for a car to get through. It's one of the
That's a
Hasses.
terrible spot to stop.
Oh, the car doesn't look in a great it looks okay, actually, from a graphics
Trying to
point of
get
view,
out of
but...
the way of these guys here, but this could be really bad. He needs to be careful here. He crosses across, gets out of the way.
I have to admit, Dido, for what we've seen in the past in terms of rejoins and things,
Yeah,
that was not too bad.
No, he did the right thing. Big lot time loss there. I think he's not a lap down yet. Oh wait, yes he is.
Oh, and the rain appears to have started to make a return. Yeah, it's drizzling down the second straight there after turn 1. So
Yeah,
I think we are back to rain. But the question I was going to pose this to you anyway, regardless of the rain, Dido. Do you just stay on the slicks and ride it out for 5 or 6 laps?
Well, yeah, but like you don't know, man. Like if the engineer's useless in this game, it tells you it's not going to rain. It does, so you can't. Yeah, so with saying for 10 minutes it's going to rain. So do you try and push through, or do you pit? You know, like it depends how much time loss you're talking and how hard this rain's going to hit. If DRS is disabled, then I think that's the time to pit.
Well, let's do a bit of a stock take here, Dido. I'm looking at the penalty times now. You can see that, ladies and gentlemen, on your climbing tower right now. 3 seconds for Cooper, 6 seconds for Mesa, which puts him really back in an area that he does not want to be fighting for P3, P4. There's a 10-second penalty for Pep. We know that because of the pit entry line that he came across. 3 seconds basically across the board for the rest of them with penalties, 6 seconds for Gangster. And if we now take a look at the number of stops, we've got a lot of people out there on 2 stops. And I think, to your point, Dido, if you've already gone and made 2 stops in this race, you probably want to try and ride it out, especially if it's only 10 minutes. If you've only done 1 stop, you're probably okay to go and do a stop. But 10 minutes of rain, and I wouldn't pit for 10 minutes worth of racing out on an intermediate tire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, mate. If I was personally out in the race, I would possibly just try and stick it out. But it depends on what sort of position you're in. I mean, you're leading this race, you pit, you go down to the back, and you get panic. He's chose to go on the inters, so
Wow.
there's something. I mean, this could be interesting here because I could see the rain. It is coming down, and like just because it says 10 minutes doesn't mean that 10 minutes of rain isn't torrential rain, like Josh is obviously saying in the chat. So if these guys try and ride it out, it could end up in the wall, just to try and prevent another pit stop. I mean, I'd much rather pit than crash. So
That's very true.
And very carefully.
My sim racing career has been littered with mistakes with regards to rain. I'll go, yeah, it'll only rain a little bit. I'll stay out on slicks. And I've gone, it'll only rain a lot. So I'll switch to the hard tires. Every time I make a decision around weather, it seems to go the opposite way. I actually got relegated to a weather reporter role in a commentary box once for cursing a lobby with rain for nearly every single race of the season after one mistaken comment in round 1. Anyway, that's a story for another time. The cars are looking a little bit scary, a little bit dicey out there at the moment, so I don't think we're going to wait too long before we see more people come into the pits. Panic has pitted. We're on board at the moment with Z Governor. He's reserving up into McLaren today in place of Evil Blade, doing a good job in P14 right now. P13 is Pep, just been overtaken by Wodjack in the Williams. And obviously, well, I won't reveal any Formula One results, but Williams ahead of faster cars is something of a hot topic at the moment. Nonetheless, Ricciardo still holding on to P4. I don't know if they're going to come into the pits. Let's just see. No, through turn 9. I think there's a lot of people just waiting.
Yeah, I think so too, mate. And that rain has steadied up a bit, but it is still very dark, and we're starting to see yellows now. Obviously, I think that's just gangster getting out of the way, but yeah, this could really snap on people's heads real quick, especially on the hard tire. You turn in and you just lose that grip, and the hard tire loses that temp, and it drops down to that cold, and you just stuff. So hopefully we don't see any safety cars here, as we see Zane's or Two Asian for you pit. Looks like he's jumping. Oh no, it's not Zane's. It's an Alpine though.
Is it? It is an Alpine. No, we've got
Yes.
Z Governor has come in. We've also got Dynasty Sparrow into the pits as well. Gangster is, I'm not sure what Gangster's doing at the moment. Intermediate tyres for Z Governor. So both McLarens thinking this is going to be heavier rain than people are thinking. It's time for the intermediate tyres. We shall see if that is the right call. In P8, looks like we've got some action still happening. 2A is having some serious glitching problems. He's being ghosted over and over again. Oh, a bit of contact on the exit of Schloss Gold there as Maddie tries to make his way through a glitching car. Not a fun thing to be doing. Panic has gotten a 10-second penalty for ignoring blue flags. Wow. Who is he held up? Looks like a Aston Martin behind him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see, because I don't really think he was that close to him, but yeah, that might be a bit of a game bug there, unfortunately, for Panic. We'll have to wait and see if he has that recorded so we can look into that. But Nova on the back of Ricciardo still, mate, really pushing him through here. This could be a overtake lined up here on this back straight. DRS on. He's burning his battery a fair bit, though. These guys, 7.9 now to me, so that gap is extending back now. And the hard tyres, I think, might be taking over.
Well, you know, we've gone 14 laps on these mediums for most of the guys out there on track, so, you know, they're not optimal anymore. That is for sure. I do get the feeling, yeah, the hard tyre probably... I mean, you said they were going to potentially cool down just that little bit more, but whatever Meso's doing, he's really able to keep them in the right zone. I mean, we saw his the front of his car turns in so quickly. So I wonder if that's just helping to keep a bit of heat, and he's really just put the heat on in another way or two and just increase the lap speed at the moment. Ricciardo and Nova have cost themselves so massively. They were catching up at a rate of knots. Now they're exchanging positions, so they're losing collectively a second a lap just from overtaking each other.
Yeah, I think they've thrown out working together. Yeah, just racing now, and that is paying. You can definitely see that, but we'll have to wait and see how that pays out. Meso trying to reel that gap back to Cooper the bot. Cooper's still in control, but there is some serious close battles on track still. Matty AU still really pushing Tudor here. And he looks like it's interesting here because 15 laps hards to 14 lap mediums. I mean, I would have still thought the mediums would be pretty good here. We're just getting a request for gap to lead, mate. If we could.
Yep. We've got that back on already.
Sweet. But yeah, interesting. I would have thought that the mediums would have had a longer advantage over the hards, but we're seeing a little bit different here.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't have an explanation for everyone, unfortunately, but your best guess is as good as mine at the moment. See a little bit of action happening behind these two who've been locked in a battle for a long time now. Two-Door Gaming in 7th place for Kick Sauber, followed by Matty AU for the Red Bull. They're separated by nothing out on track. Tyre difference between them, though. Matty is on the hard tyres, so based on what we're seeing with the other RB, the Racing Bulls, I should say, we should be seeing the hard tyres basically coming to life at this stage of the race. And I think those who switch onto the intermediates, they won't be going as fast as these guys right now. These, I think we're still looking at 1 minute 11s, no, 1 minute 12s maybe. So we've lost about 5 or 6 seconds out on track. Actually, more than that. About 7 or 8 seconds or so of track pace. And maybe the intermediates are worth doing, but I mean, that rain doesn't look like it's sticking around.
Yeah, if it continues to rain, then yes, it will pay off. But if we're only getting sort of 10 minutes of rain here, I mean, it will be almost drying out again soon. So I don't know.
3 wide into the braking zone at turn 3. Here we go. That is a big move, a big lunge down the inside for one of the Williams drivers, and that will be, I think, Wogjet. No, it's not. That is actually JJ Gamer, who's out on a fresh set of intermediate tyres. So there's the difference on screen right now. He's overtaken both of the cars ahead of him who have lapped him already. Two Door Gaming and Maddie AU battling it out. They're both on the slick tires. And JJ Gamer in 19th has driven around them.
Yeah, maybe the Inter is the right time. I'm not sure because the pace difference is starting to show. But at the same time, like I said, if this rain stops, they'll have to pit again, and then
Yeah.
lose all that time again. So this is a similar situation we saw at Singapore last season, where you just couldn't figure out if it was raining or not. Like it just would go on and off all race. And but we're saying 5 minutes left of this rain. So if that's the case, then yeah, that's a
Well,
huge mistake going on the Inters. But yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, 5 minutes left on the rain, according to a smart person in chat. We don't know, of course, how long the rain will actually last. We don't know how fast the track will dry up. They were on the intermediates as DRS was enabled, so there's at least 3 or 4 laps after the rain has stopped where you can still be on an intermediate tire. Danger, yes. Yeah, well, again, you're talking... Anyway, I'm going to rapidly move on from that topic before I dig myself a massive hole in the commentary box, which is what I'm really skilled at. Pep has come in onto the hard tires.
Yeah, wow. What's he putting on? He put hard.
He's put the hard tires on, sorry.
But
Yes.
they must be confident that this rain is gone. And that's bad news for the likes of Governor, Zanes, and pretty much anyone that's pitted on the Inters again, mate.
Yeah, agreed.
But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know how inconsistent this game could be, so...
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Inconsistencies aside, an interesting development happening up the front of the field. Looks like Cooper the Bot's having a bit of a problem because he is now dropping time by the bucket load to Meso, whose tires are clearly in the absolute perfect window right now. Meso has put 3 or 4 seconds onto Ricciardo, so no chance at the moment for Ricciardo to catch up, and the medium tires looking absolutely dismal out there in these conditions right now. It's likely cooling down out on track, and the medium tires, whatever heat was in them, is now gone. Same should be said for the hard tires, but at the moment we're not seeing that, as within slipstream range and only half a second away, Meso is on to retake the lead of this race in a matter of corners.
Yeah, this is crazy because I would have thought, like I said, like, if anything would have been struggling more in the rain, it would have been hards, I would have thought, but Meso is really on fire at the moment. He's got those tyres in the great window. Cooper is struggling. He can barely stop the car. It's very interesting stuff here, mate. I don't know if we got... Yeah, like... That's what I mean. Like Danger said, the meds shouldn't be wearing this bad. So very interesting stuff here, mate. Maybe these guys have just not accounted for the amount of rain we were going to have. And the setup wrong, so.
I'm on the short laps as well, right? So, we're only looking just over a minute per lap. So you are going through a lot of these corners very, very quickly and a rapid pace. I mean, look at these two, the leaders right now being caught up. I think, is that Pep? That's Pep. So Pep on fresh hard tires is looking absolutely rapid. Meso is going to get past Cooper at some point. Pep wants to join the party. It's not for position. He just needs to unlap himself. But the hard tires are absolutely flying right now, and we have no idea why, which is fantastic. We love that in the commentary box. DRS wide open for Pep and for Meso. No chance this time to get past Cooper, who is very sensibly saving that ERS deployment for the main straight. Holds on to survive yet another corner. We are 34 laps into a 71-lap race. Here's the opportunity. Oh, Cooper's not had a good run at all, and Meso's driven around him.
Yeah, wow. I just didn't expect that. He is in a world of hurt right now, Cooper. Really struggling on those mediums. And like Josh said, if they were warned before the rain, you're in no chance of trying to guide it through the rain. But 5 minutes left of rain, it is getting a lot brighter on track, and I'm sure we'll see the rain stop. Interestingly, we didn't lose DRS at all, so it was never wet enough for obviously the stewards to say it was a wet track.
That said, if we have a look at those who are on the intermediate tyres, who's it worked out for and who hasn't it worked out for? Right now, for 2A and Z Governor in the McLaren and P12, it has worked out okay, but they are staring down the barrel of another pit stop in rapid, quite a short amount of time. We have just seen someone duck into the pits. We'll see who that is in a few moments' time. For Flying, Kiwi, Panic, and JJ Gamer, it's not worked out at all. They have made up some time
Oh,
around them,
Meso's in
but
the
nothing
wall.
massive. Meso is gone. He's directly 90 degrees into the wall, Shadow Realm, for the Racing Bull. It's a disaster for a
Oh,
man who was leading
no.
this race, and he's got it all wrong at turn 10.
Yeah, and that was a pretty gnarly rejoin, I must say, too. But yeah, I have no idea what happened there, but
Well, and that
wow,
is
that
the
is
front
huge.
wing is just damaged beyond repair. So if he was planning to stay out, well, I think he'll be needing to recalculate that strategy, because he will have absolutely no pace with a front wing that is missing both end plates and is clearly holding a lot of damage on the nose of that car. And what a disaster, what could have been for this man who ended up luckily on the right tire at the right time, at the right position, and was on to maybe be taking the lead of this race and holding that through the latter half of the race. He has got so much work to do. He's in 4th place now, but he is 14 seconds off of Cooper the Bot. The question is, he's got 3 medium runners ahead of him. There's still an opportunity. He's had the pace, so maybe he can align the pit stops with the top 3 and beat them to it.
Yeah, that's a he has to pit. He has to pit. He's got no end plates on the front of that car. But interestingly, apparently Fat Eagle got tangled up in that incident there with Meso, so yeah,
wow.
really unfortunate there for him. Probably trying to overlap someone there, but everyone in the pits, you've got Ricciardo, Nova, Meso all in the pits here, so
Wow.
they're jumping up the mediums.
That is actually fascinating, and that works out so well for Meso. He has been lucky in this race so far, but needs to grab the opportunity with 2 hands, like he's grabbing that steering wheel. Say again.
Panic. 10-second into the pit lane.
Oh, Panic. No, not again. Okay, so we've got another 10-second penalty handed out. Panic for McLaren has had a massive issue on the entry. I mean, the entry is not easy because you have to slow right down at that apex of turn 9 and then really turn it in. If you carry any speed through the apex, it launches you wide across the white line, and that's a penalty.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Unfortunately, it's not the best pit entry there, but really unfortunate for Panic. I think that's his second 10-second tonight. So Nova though gets the move done on Ricciardo on those fresh mediums, opting to go medium. I think, or did he start on the hards?
Oh, that is a good question. I think Ricciardo was one of the ones on the mediums. He's just come to the pit, so he's just come out. Yes, so it's medium for Nova. It's medium to hards for Ricciardo.
Yeah, but I think he can get away with not having to pit again anyway, like not having to use the hards or anything because it was a wet race. So
Yes.
very, very interesting there. Nova really pushing, locking up for that final corner. Stoyan gets a free second up in P2. Still, these top 2 still have to pit.
Yeah. And they're going to need to do that soon because they're on 22 and 21 lap old mediums, and the medium tyre at the moment has not been the favoured tyre. But I don't see rain coming down any longer, so I suspect the mediums are going to suddenly come back into their own. And Ricciardo may not be the most comfortable. Another lock-up for Nova into turn 3. Not compromised on the exit, though, so he's held onto that very nicely. But yeah, Ricciardo on the hard tyres now might be thinking, let's hope for some more rain. Also, just before we get back onto the topic, a little bit of housekeeping. Another lockup for Nova. All right, mate, just, careful. Your brakes aren't an infinite resource. Anyway, as Dante correctly says in chat, it is now half race distance on lap 36 it was. So another big thanks to our sponsors, AI369. Go check them out online. Highlight reels automated by AI. Absolutely awesome stuff. Pagnian, SimLab, and S Nation as well. Big thanks, of course, to everyone at Rush Racing League for putting on a great show. All the stewards and the admins in the background doing hard work to keep the lights on. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And yeah, we will now continue our broadcast. Flying Kiwi with a penalty. And what have you seen?
Cooper's in the pits. He's done it. He's called it and chumped on the medium hard tyre. Sorry. So he is still well and truly in control though. 8-second gap. So that undercut didn't really pay off. Still helped Nova a bit reel in this gap, but it's still a healthy margin for Cooper, and he can now get to the end healthily on that, unless we get rain or a safety or something like that. But that tyre will get him to the end, so he is well and truly on for a win here if he can continue on this road.
Wow. Yeah, Cooper. I mean, this is the strategy that we come to expect from a top Division 4 driver, and of course he was Division 3 for some time as well. So we do know he's got an incredible amount of pace, and when it gets back into the dry conditions, this man absolutely comes alive. He's a survivor of the rain. and certainly a man of the dry, that is for sure. Meso, onto the medium tyre. That's an interesting choice given he was so strong on the hards.
Yeah, very interesting there, but he's looking to try and jump on a fresher tyre here, a faster tyre, sorry, and try and make back all those places he unfortunately lost with that incident on the last corner. So he is going to be on a charge, as we can see him pushing in the fastest lap already there. So watch out for Meso. I think we haven't seen the end of him. There is still a long way to go in this race. But I will be straight back, mate. I'm going to just top up my drinks for the next half of this race quickly.
No worries at all. So let's do a bit of a stock take of the race as it stands right now. Thank you, everyone, for the kind comments in chat as well. We both, myself, George Cook, and Dido, really appreciate them. Love that you guys are enjoying today's coverage. Just remember as well that you can redeem channel points for a full onboard lap of this wonderful high-speed flowing circuit, and with any driver that you so choose. So spend those channel points, get involved, and ask any questions you've got in chat as well. Right, stock take time. Here we go. Cooper the Bot is leading the race by 8.5 seconds as Fat Eagle does get another penalty. In fact, we'll switch to the penalty view as well, and that way we can see exactly who's got what. Cooper the Bot setting fastest lap after fastest lap. It's the first 106 of the night with a 106.9, and that is sunlight for the first time on the circuit here. 40 laps in, and we have sun breaking through the clouds at long last in the Styrian valleys here in Austria for the Red Bull Ring Austrian Grand Prix. Fantastic location to come. If you can visit there in real life at some point, please take the opportunity to do so. In P2, it is Nova, who's been battling with Ricciardo the entire race, has found his way ahead, but with a 3-second penalty for both Cooper and Nova. Then it's Ricciardo in P3, followed by Matty AU, 3 seconds to his name, trying to get past a bit of a blue flag there. And then behind him, it's Meso, former race leader, who had an accident 90 degrees into the barrier at turn 10. And I tell you what, it was a pretty disastrous one. He's gone onto the medium tyres. We're going to jump over, of course, to this. We've got 12 and 13 seconds for Flying Kiwi and Panic, respectively, at the bottom of the field. 6 seconds for Meso, 6 for Moontime at Stoin and P7, 6 for Dynasty Stereo, and 6 for Sammy the Slammer. So those will come into effect at some point soon. Here's the tyres. At the moment, everyone is choosing the hard tyres. They were clearly the fastest out on track. Fastest laps being set right now by the medium runners. The question is, will the rain return? Just looking down the rest of the grid, Master for Aston Martin in P6. This is their day right now. They are well ahead of the Mercedes on track, and they're trailing them in the Constructors' Championship. And Pep still leading the Drivers' Championship, but only just. This could be the opportunity for Cooper and to Ricciardo to actually overtake him in the Drivers' Championship in round 12. Then we've got Wogjet for Williams in P8, followed by Dynasty Sparrow P9, Sammy in P10. And the bottom of the grid, as you can see there, Two-Door, 2A, Pep, Z-Governor, that's SJ, Fat Eagle, Uncle Morty, Flying Kiwi, JJ Gamer, Panic, and Gangster at the bottom of the grid on 25-lap-old hard tyres. Matty AU still needs to come to a pit soon, 27 laps on those hard tyres, as has Wogjet. So some very long runners out there. Uncle Morty is included in that group, and 26-lap-old tyres for Fat Eagle on the mediums. Dido, surely that's not the optimal strategy there.
Wow. Yeah, I just saw him jumping in the pits now to get off those finally. But yeah, that would have been burning up for him. Just noting Master here, Sark in P7. I mean, he's got only one driver in front of him that doesn't have a penalty. If we had a safety car here, he could be jumping a long way up. And any driver that doesn't have a penalty could be up for a massive result here. So just monitor that. Obviously, wouldn't want to commentate curse that and get him a penalty. But Master in a really good position here. Wogjet finally deciding to get off his tyres too. But yeah, I think those guys that were running some type of drama, whether it mean more rain or a safety car or some sort of drama that they could have used that to their advantage, but unfortunately it hasn't happened yet. Wogjet shows the softs.
Oh, okay. Well, he is then expecting another dose of rain, almost certainly, or some sort of safety car for sure, because you don't do, what is that, 29 laps to the end of this race on soft tyres.
No, you don't. You definitely don't. So we'll have to wait to see what happens there. Ricciardo and Nova still battling it out. They haven't stopped this all race, and this is just allowing Cooper just to keep going further and further away here. So,
Dino, honestly, it's been an Aston Martin versus Ferrari day. It really has been. Nova the King is fighting Ricciardo, and we've got Moontime fighting Master. I was about to say in opposite directions, but now it's the Ferraris behind both Aston Martins as Ricciardo, for I think the 100th time this race, has made an overtake on Nova. I'm sure Nova will get his 100th in a few laps time, or a few corners time, I should say.
Yeah.
P6, P7 still up for grabs as well. It's wild. It's been so much overtaking.
Yeah, it is, mate. And there you go, Stoyan overtaking Master too, as we were talking about them. So interesting. Pep also just hanging on DRS down in P12. Had a tough race. He was lapped down at one point too. Pep, I believe. So yeah, he's doing really well to recover from there. So I think he actually might have been tangled in a first lap incident. So good recovery from him.
That's right.
Watch
And
out.
Dido, we are getting some reports that Gangster for Alpine is under AI mode. He may need a re-invite to the lobby of some kind. If you could just take a moment to look into that and what's happening. Yeah, he's miles off the pace at the moment, so AI definitely in control. As we continue to watch the battle between Moontime and Master. So right now for Aston Martin, this is the good day out that they really need. Nova makes his 100th overtake on Ricciardo. Oh, he's voluntarily on AI, so we've got confirmation that he's voluntarily on AI right now. I don't know what the rules are around that, but just reading what I'm seeing in chat at the moment, Sammy the Slammer picks up another penalty, 3 seconds to his name, and we just can't avoid it. The FIA and the people who are looking at the boundaries of the circuit are, let's say, they're having a field day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, mate. I'm just reading too. Yeah, interesting strategy running under AI, but let's wait and see. Master gets the move done onto Stoyan and Master,
Whoa.
mate. Oh no, they were doing so well. Stoyan
Whose
just
M plate was that, though? Was that Stoynes? Yeah, it was Moontime's. Oh, dear.
yeah, he was in trouble there. That kind of hurt his race.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
not
the
sure.
worst time possible. I think, yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. It happened at turn 4, but now that the dry conditions are out, you need that end plate. Like, in the wet, it's not as important because you're kind of relying on the mechanical grip of the car more so than anything. But now, I mean, this is a disaster for him, and he's got Dynasty Sparrow, potentially going to be able to catch up towards the end of this race as well, but still a long way to go, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And just on that note, Josh, with the fuel light on, Tudor still has that yellow fuel light on. He has had it pretty much since lap, I think it was like lap 8 or lap 20 or something. He said that fuel light on, but he's, yeah, definitely been having to manage that for probably praying for a safety car.
Certainly will be. And
maybe it was just a graphic bug.
Could well be. We shall see. I mean, it's still there on the main broadcast screen at the moment. Or inside move attempt by Stoyan. That might be a deja vu moment. I mean, Tina, that must have been what was happening last time. Someone's gone for a dive into turn 4. We all know it's hard to break down the inside as it drops off towards the apex much more than on the outside line. And then someone else has gone, well, I have to turn in. I'm on the outside. And then contact is made.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was almost the exact same incident.
Are we living in the Matrix? We just saw 2 black cats walking by the door.
Yeah, and these 2 at the top too. Ricciardo and Nova have swapped again. That must be the 150th time now.
That's right.
They aren't getting any closer to Cooper. They actually lose
time. Every time they do it, they lose time. So at this stage, one of them just needs to say, well, maybe it's reluctance on the driver's part. They probably both think they're faster. Massive lockup for Nova into turn 4. They each think that they're faster than the other. So they're constantly jockeying for the position instead of just going, well, if we're all faster, doesn't matter. Let's just drive and stop replacing each other's position because we just fall back in track every single time. It's just a snake that gets longer and longer, like an old Nokia game.
Yeah, mate, yeah. And just interestingly, Matty's on 32 laps on his tyres. So you're saying that'd be starting to hurt at that point. Maybe he's definitely hoping for a safety car at this point. He'd be able to obviously pit and go the end on some meds, but
yeah. But the question really is though, Dita. I mean, are we going to see an accident big enough to bring out a safety car? We've seen the virtual safety car, but we've also seen DRS left on throughout rain. I don't know if the race control today are keen to hand out the bigger safety things. So I don't think they've been running it particularly safely today.
Yeah, I think the guys are pretty in control at this point. It'd take a lot for a safety car, but as the fatigue and everything kicks in, and also the tyre wear with some of these guys on some real big stints, you never know. And this track bites hard if you're not careful. So But penalties is the main thing. I mean, these are racking in now. We've almost got half the grid, well and truly half the grid have penalties. But yeah, you'd be really beneficial to not get one at this point, because safety car, you could be jumping up 5-6 spots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're Meso right now, you're gutted because you've thrown things away massively. You got 2 penalties. That's 6 seconds to your name, and you've had an accident that's taken you out of the lead when the leader has got a 3-second penalty of his own. So there was a real opportunity for the Racing Bull to be up there in the top 3. He's got a lot of work to do to get back to that at this stage. Gap to them is about 20 seconds between Meso and the leader right now. 24 back to Matty, who's going to have a rapid master coming up behind him at some point soon in this race. We are on lap 48, currently on board with Stoyn. That's Moontime, missing a front wing end plate on the left-hand side of the car. And Master just ahead of him, trying to catch up, of course, to the back of Maddie. But they're kind of doing the same thing, playing the same. Oh, big lunge up the inside. Yep, that is a expert move. And Master didn't want to wait a single second more. And we've got a caution in Sector 2. It's just slow cars. Nothing to worry about there. Wow. This race has just gone from... It's been exciting all the way through. We've had a bit of a lull. We've been able to take a little bit of a breath, as says everyone in chat. I feel like the spiciness is about to turn up to maximum.
Yeah, everyone will be just trying to plan their next move. Stoyn, interestingly, that was a very late move there for someone with no end plate. Really could have gone wrong there, but he got the car stopped absolutely amazingly there. But yeah, it could have been a huge lockup, depending if he's running ABS or not. But this race is yet to show us what it's capable of. I think there's still a lot of drama coming in. Nova gets out of the way of Ricciardo there. Maybe playing a bit of mind games now, trying to get behind him for the next DRS. But 9.2 seconds to Cooper, and that gap has been like that for the last five laps. So they haven't broken into any sort of leadway there.
Yeah, that's right. And just looking at the Drivers' Championship at the moment, Ricciardo with his great drive from the back of the grid to, I think, first last week, which was fantastic stuff. He has closed up the gap to Pep in the Drivers' Championship. 186 points for Pep and now 159 for Ricciardo.
Oh, big battle here with Master, Matty, and Stoyn. This is getting real spicy here in the middle sectors.
Keep an eye. Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. And that is Matty, isn't it? He's coming into this battle. Where did he come from?
Yeah, I don't know how he's still trucking on those 35 laps. Like,
oh, wait, I think I know. He was ahead of these two. Master and Stoyn have overtaken him in the last few corners.
Might be his time to pit, just to get rid of him. But like I said, he's probably hoping for that safety to make it worth it.
At what point do you just call it a day, though, and jump into the pits? 50 laps in, 21 to go.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to push to the softs. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. The soft window, of course, that would put him around 11 to 15 laps. 15 laps at the absolute maximum. You'd be really struggling at that stage. The only person out there on the softs right now is Wogjet in the Williams down on P13. 7 laps on his softs right now. We've seen what was about 10 or 11 laps was the standard for the soft tyres.
Yeah,
it wasn't like they'll get cooked up.
Unfortunately, for Wogjet going on the soft. I think that was actually a misclick, but yeah.
Slow car, sector 2. I think that is... No, that was another car. That was, I think, Uncle Morty. Yes, it was, in fact, Uncle Morty, who we haven't spoken about a lot today. As a car locks up in front of him into turn 10, now down the main straight. We've got pit stop for Wogjet. He's jumped in immediately. So 7 laps was all he wanted to do. And they said, right, I'm in the window for the mediums to run to the end. 20 laps to go. Let's do it. So sensible move for Wogjet. But he's also now banking on there being no change to the conditions and no safety cars. So the later you run and do these pit stops that sort of determine your fate, the more likely it is that you are going to find yourself in a bit of trouble. The hard tyre runners now, of course, thinking if we can get at least another 10 laps, puts us in the soft range, we could come in for the pits. Or, as we've seen Matty do, we can go to the end.
Yeah, everyone's sort of got a different strategy here. All on sort of different lap tyres and everything. So Wogjet, I'd say, it's just going to push as hard as it can and see what happens. But this race is still yet to be decided. Master now gets the job on Stoyn. And this battle in the middle is helping Matty hang on a little bit longer because he can just use these guys' DRS to ride out the last bit of these tyres. But God, they must be on the burning in this thing.
We're on board with Matty right now. Oh, just the body language of the car. It doesn't want to go around corners. It is just slipping and sliding. He's driving on butter right now. So he is not having a good time out there. But he is still managing, and he's actually keeping pace with Stoyan and Master for the moment. So he's not doing a bad job at all.
Yeah, as long as he can stay on that DRS, he'll be okay. But yeah, but just has to hang in there for a little bit longer. See how he
Hang
can
fast, hold fast.
Yeah.
Hold fast is the phrase from the nautical scene. Anyway,
yeah, that gap at the top from P1 to P2's only dropped a fraction. It's still at that 9-second mark, but they are slowly chipping away at it. But I just can't see Cooper fumbling this one. He's on the fresher tyres too. But yeah, one mistake and he's way back in and this battle. Ricciardo still has no penalty though, so he gets in that gap. Could be playing some challenge to Cooper at the end of this race.
Yep, exactly. I mean, 9 seconds is not undoable, in the last, 18 laps of this race, but I mean, they get to be going at 2 seconds a lap quicker, essentially. So at the moment, he's out of range, so Cooper will have to avoid any kind of incident like we saw with Meso. Meso was leading the race and then put it into the barrier, square 90 degrees at turn 10. Still don't know what happened there. I think what's happened is he's clipped the inside curb of the apex is what Meso's probably done, and then the car's just become unstable and he's launched it across into that barrier. That, or he's had some sort of control systems failure. We don't know. We hopefully will find out at some point, and if he gets finished in the top 3, which unfortunately with a 6-second penalty and a 13-second interval to P3 is looking unlikely. At the moment, box seat is definitely Ricciardo. Nova the King has run a good race though as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Ricciardo. Oh, that's it. Gangsters called it. Thought we might have seen a safety car there, but
oh dear, it's called it, and we have side-by-side action.
yeah,
Coin and Master again. But I mean, Dino, at this point, I'm giving up. We know that these guys are in a battle, but we know that it's going to reverse itself again. So, oh, another battle between a Ferrari and an Aston Martin. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we've got big problems too because Gangster's AI has actually come out in the front of Ricciardo, I think, there. So hopefully there's no issues. Oh, God.
Oh dear, who can we go on board with to get a view? I think Wogjet's the next one approaching. Yeah, oh, that car is so slow. It's twitching left and right. Everyone needs to take large avoiding action. Monk and Morty does get past safely. The next car coming up is going to be JJ the Gamer. No, it's not.
Car's disappeared, so all good.
Okay.
Chrysler's averted, and Meso's he's jumped on the mediums.
Oh, so we have a pit stop from Meso. Oh, so any chance he had of ending up in a podium position has, at this stage, evaporated.
Yeah.
He's now in P8.
Yeah, I'd say he just couldn't hang on, or he's trying to go for a fastest lap here or something. But yeah, with that safety car here,
Well, that's it.
No chance.
Even where he was in P3, he was probably going to be feeling a little bit uncomfortable there anyway. Had still got 6 seconds of penalties above him. This way, at least he gets to do a little bit of racing. And if something major does happen in this race, well, he will be there in a good spot for the most part. But he kind of burnt his pit stop early. I don't know if that was the right call, but either way, his race has been a little bit on ice ever since that barrier collision that he made. Look.
Jeez, he's very, very, very keen to get past these guys now. He is on the back of Dynasty now, trying to get past here.
A racing driver on fresh tires is a great white shark smelling blood in the water.
Oh my God, look at him. He's basically pushing him down this back straight here.
Whoa. So Dynasty's not going to be particularly comfortable. Does dive to the outside line. He's just got so much grip.
God.
Grip difference there is absolutely unbelievable, and that'll be an easy overtake. But yeah, that was a hairy few moments up the main straight. Boy, oh boy.
Dynasty did really well there to hold him as long as he could, but yeah, he can't. That tire is just so much quicker, and that gap between him and Matty will fall rapidly with that 41 lap tire difference.
That's right. I mean, bear in mind, Meso does have a 6-second penalty, but right now, looking at the grid, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers out of a 20-person grid without a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, and we never know, get something removed or something like that. So he knows more than us, obviously, with that, but he is pushing on an absolute charge here. So it's not over for Meso yet. We'll have to wait and see where he ends up. Ricciardo's still on the back of Nova. These guys cannot separate each other.
I mean, who's gonna? This is it, isn't it? It's one of those ones where you just go, who is going to be the person on? I don't know. Probably the corner after Remus who gets the slipstream and does the dive into turn 4 and then runs away with it and wins the race. That, or we're going to have a race to the line between the Ferraris and the Aston Martins, who are now separated by nothing on track. 17-second gap between the two packs. P3, P2 is pack number 1, and then P4, P5 is pack number 2, and they're separated by absolutely nothing. So Ferraris and Aston Martins going at it. This is important for the Aston Martin team overall. They're 30 points behind Mercedes. And with a result like this today, and Dynasty and Pep in P8, P12 respectively, the bigger points haul they can get today, if they can nail themselves P2 and P4, I think that might be enough points to launch them into the lead of the Constructors' Championship for Division 4.
Yeah, they're Aston have really came out of nowhere this season and delivered some massive results. So this is another one if they can secure this one, P2, P4. Currently no penalties, and I think Nova would be actually quite frustrated with the second stint of this race being on that medium. He probably was hoping to actually break away from Ricciardo, but unfortunately he didn't. And obviously you chuck on the penalty, it's really gotten away from Nova here. So I think he'll be quite frustrated with how it panned out there.
Yeah,
definitely being on the faster tyre, he was probably hoping to get away here.
Fortunately, not able to do so. 14 laps left in this race. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in chat. Remember, you can redeem a full onboard lap, or 65,000 points later, you can get yourself a choice of the races in Season 9. Do get involved, and we've been stoked to have you all communicating so much in chat. Big thanks to AI369, our main sponsor here at Rush Racing League. It is Season 8, Round 12 at the Austrian Grand Prix in the Styrian Hills, the Red Bull Ring, formerly known as the Österreich Ring. Fantastic place to go racing, and we have had an exciting a dynamic weather race today. Well and truly dynamic. Rain at the start, it trailed off, and then it came back, and then it's gone again. But will it come back again? We'll see. Will it be a safety car? These are the questions that need answering at the moment. Status quo. But if there's any antics towards the end of the race, things will shift.
And yeah, there you go. Stoyn now gets the job. He's starting to apply some pressure on Master here. Matty's been left in the dust, still on those tyres.
Gee whiz, 44 laps on the hard tyres. And
wow.
I mean, at the moment, he'll be within soft range within 3 laps. So he's either pitting in the next 3 laps or he's trying to do the impossible.
Yeah, that'd have to be the strategy going to the softs at the end. And look, it probably won't be the worst thing. Like, he'll only drop down a fair bit with how big these gaps are. He'll only drop down a little bit compared to he normally would. And then he'll be the fastest car on the grid. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Matty. He does have that penalty though, so it will hurt him at the end. Master though and Ricciardo, both no penalties. Both here, basically looking at a top 3. If I reckon Master could apply some pressure at the end of this race, but 18 seconds. Yeah.
We've got comments in chat. Matty AU, now formerly going to be known as Mr. Impossible. So, not Mr. Possible. It might have to be Mr. Possible if it's if he goes to the end on the hard tyres. Mr. Impossible if he doesn't manage to make it. So we will see some comments there saying that he will not be boxing in this race. That'll be absolutely fantastic to see. And yeah, I think you're right. Master could well be in a position here to launch a really late attack. And again, it's just going to come down to managing the tyres. If you've got enough grip, if you've got the right timing out of turn 10 or out of turn 1 or out of turn 3, there's your opportunity. But really, you need to be focusing on getting a really good run, maybe not finding an overtaking opportunity into turn 3, and then launching it down the inside, around the outside, get the power down, hang it into turn 4, and then really it's single file to the end.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And it depends. Obviously, with the 100% race, the tyre wear is a little bit different opposed to a normal 35 to 50% races. But you'd be starting to jump into puncture territory, I would say, on 50 lap plus tyres on hards, especially, but could be interesting. Could pay off massively here because he's made up a lot of positions by not pitting.
Yep, that is right. I mean, now that we've raised the spectre of tyre pop here, I'm now officially terrified for Matty AU. He gets overtaken by Meso, who comes on through at turn 3. Nice, easy move there for Meso. He's got the tyre life. He's got the grip. So we shall see. We are getting told he's less than 50% wear. puncture territory is around 70%ish. So may actually be safe. He's been looking after the
Yeah,
tires. He's been
it's
out there
around
for a long
50,
time, but
yeah.
he's been caressing
Yeah.
them. Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
just whispering sweet nothings into the ears of the tires all race long. And maybe he will make it to the end. So just needs to avoid lighting up the rears or doing any kind of sideways motion too heavy, which he's just done into the S's.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy things this season with tyre stints, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see how he goes. But Pep is out on the back of his teammate, so I wonder what they're going to do there. Dynasty probably will just tow him along, being on the faster tyre.
Oh,
See if they
fastest
can get a
lap.
little bit better. Meso.
Yeah, well, Meso's just set a 105.9. So he's going rather quickly right now as Two-Door Gaming picks up another penalty. We're now down to 4 drivers who do not have a penalty and will not be serving this at the end of the race. So to be honest, whatever the provisional race results are across the line, we've got rain. Is that rain that I just saw there? No. Okay, hold on. I need to recheck that. But Sector 2, it looked like there's rain coming down, unless it's the graphics. Is it the graphics? Someone can confirm. It's bright and sunny out there. Come on. Please tell me that was a graphics glitch, right? Okay.
I don't know. I did not see rain, but geez, I would not be surprised.
Saying clean my screen. Okay, we're just going to put that down to a commentator's panic and the screen tearing that's clearly occurring on my screen right now. Thank goodness for that. Moment we focus on Nova and Ricciardo, who are having a Williams unlap himself. Going past that, of course, is JJ Gamer. No, it's not. That is the other Williams of Wogjet on much, much fresher tyres, of course. 26 laps on the mediums for Nova, holding on well.
Yeah, he's doing a great job too, but like I said, probably frustrated that he is not breaking away here, but we'll have to wait and see. Just looking a little bit further down, as I said, with Dynasty's our next closest battle, but I don't think they're battling. And then obviously Master and Stoyan is our other close battle. Everyone else sort of spread out here, hoping for something towards the end. If we see a safety car, I mean, what an end to this race we would see. I just can't believe the amount of penalties we're seeing here. And if you don't have one and you got a safety car, you could. Oh God, Wogjet gets a 10-second. I would think
that hurts because he's just gone past, I believe, Nova and Ricciardo, and they're quick enough that he's been forced to sit in the blue flag range. So that's a very unfair penalty for the Williams driver who's on much fresher tyres than these two and does have the pace on them, but just hasn't escaped the two there. So now he's officially been warned and penalised for ignoring blue flags, as has Flying Kiwi. So both of them will have another 10 seconds. That's just commiseration up commiseration. And Panic picks up a 3-second. I mean, it's getting loose at the end here. It really is.
Yeah, you gotta love EA. I mean, you gotta love it.
Oh, and Flying Kiwi is out. Flying Kiwi is out of this race.
What's happening?
And that is his day done. I think.
He gets another 10-second. He's nowhere even near him anyway.
Yeah, well, he has been hit with a lot of penalties this race, and he's decided that's enough. Pit retirement. That's it. His race is done, and he will go on with his evening. That puts JJ Gamer now into the last position, remaining on track in 18th position. McLaren's P13, P17, respectively. Williams P14, P18. And Meso has made a lot of progress. Let's switch back to this battle because, oh boy, we have some serious action going on right now. Meso is right behind Master, who's right behind Stoyan. So Meso is now in the mix. Bear in mind with a 6-second penalty. So actually Master is in the best position out of these three.
Yeah, he is, mate. He's got no penalty. He's on the hard tyre, so he's well and truly safe to the end. And he is well and truly just... He doesn't even need to do anything here. Just sort of relax and just chill. But he's doing the complete opposite. He's gone for a move on Stoyan anyway and goes right into the inside.
Yeah. Oh, it's close.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, good racing between these two, but we've got a very fast Meso who's been very aggressive on the overtakes and on all things racing. They're 3 wide in the braking zone. Meso sent it. That's a disastrous move. There was never going to be a space there, unfortunately, I don't think. Certainly, Master was not aware that there was going to be a racing bull flying up the inside. Does manage to get the overtake on Stoyan, who's fallen back by half a second now. Wow, that was opportunistic from Meso.
Yeah, mate. Just reading some comments. Williams in the mud from Danger and Josh, and at least they're on the grid. Hey, Danger. At least they're on the grid, mate.
Wow.
But
We do have to start talking driver of the day very, very soon, Dido. I don't
we
even
do.
know.
And I think Matty is definitely a contender here. 50 laps on those bloody hard tyres. I mean, God. But at the same time, looking at these guys without a penalty, I mean, you can't ignore them. Like but Master's up there with no penalty right now.
Yeah. And then you've got the story of Cooper starting on the right compound, as well as Mesa, who has done really, really well this race. Boy, oh boy, he has been so aggressive, and actually Master has lost the position to both of them. Big impact of the bottom floor of the car over the barrier, over the curb on the exit of turn 3, and Mesa is now ahead. He's got the pace. He will run away with this, and that is removing some points from these guys right now. And I think Master really needs to be up there ahead of the Ferrari to try and secure that position within 6 seconds of Mesa. We have 5 laps to go. So you're giving it to Matty? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm just looking at the position changes now. Stoin up 15, Tudor up 10. But yeah, I can't ignore stint on the hard. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a tricky one. I've got to bring up the hold on, everyone. I'll just bring up not the penalties, the position change. I mean, Stoin has done fantastically well too, up 15 positions. He started on the right tyre, made some good decisions. So Moontime has had a good race this way. I think I'm going to give it to the Ferrari of Stoin, personally. So we've got, I'm guessing, Matty for you, Dido?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
All right, so we've got Matty for Dido, and I'll type this into chat very quickly. Matty, Dido, and then we've got Stoin, CGK. So if we do have an admin in chat, could you please put up a prediction, or however we do it, a poll for driver of the day, so we can get those votes in. Please get that up as soon as possible for us. That'd be much appreciated as we continue to focus on the remaining 4 laps of this race. And it's not over between these 3, P4, 5, and 6. Nova is right behind Ricciardo. No, has made the overtake, and Cooper is 14.5 seconds up the road.
Yeah, I didn't actually see this, but I didn't know Ricciardo got a penalty, so he unfortunately must have got that. He didn't have one for a long time, so that now he's on equal playing grounds with Nova now. So these guys are genuinely fighting for position.
Well, just looking at
a lot more at stake.
Yeah, just looking at this, we've got 6 seconds for Cooper. He's safe. 3 seconds for Nova, but 3 seconds for Ricciardo. So they're equal Stevens. So wherever they finish on track, they'll be okay. They've got 19 seconds back to Meso, who's got a 9-second penalty. He's likely to lose that entirely because he's within a second of both P5 and 6. May even lose that out to Matty as well. 6 seconds for Stoin, so he'll drop behind Master. Master's on for a P4 right now.
Yeah, this is huge for Master and Aston. I mean, this is huge points for them if they can get this right. And I think at this stage, they're looking like they're going to get this right. And the huge points again for them, not just for the constructors and this and the overalls too. They're up into P3 now. In the overalls,
double digits for 3 drivers. Uncle Morty now 18 seconds. Masters having a little bit of a look for the move. Nova has been locking up each corner. I think there might just be a graphical glitch at this stage. But they're still on in a great little battle, these two. 18 seconds now back to Mesa as we head into the final 3 laps. Cooper is just extending that gap and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. But right now we are looking at Cooper, Nova, and Ricciardo in some order or another being our top 3 finishes in the 100% race for round 12. Going to be exciting end of the race. And yeah, that graphical glitch coming up again. It's suddenly getting rather grey out there all of a sudden.
Yeah, I must say, I don't think that's a graphical glitch.
Yeah.
I think that's
I wonder if what's been happening is that my camera angle for the S's is so far off in the distance that it's giving me the weather from 15 minutes away. That must have been what's happened. So I'm going to claim that I was not as wrong as I thought I was when I saw rain. But
yeah, we'll ride with that, mate.
We'll ride with that for now. Okay, I feel a little bit better. Still clearly wrong, but it is grey out there. This could be a last lap little sprinkle of rain. Probably won't be because we are right at the end of this race now. Ricciardo has made the move yet again on Nova. Got a bit of blue flag traffic ahead of them, though, at the moment. That is the McLaren, I believe, of Z Governor, SJ, who's down into P14 now. Lets a car through, but that is Wogjet with a 20-second penalty. So he'll get that position back at the end of this race. Yeah, McLaren's not having a good day out today. Oh, has he done it again? He's done it again! He's backwards and around in the wall. Did you catch that? What on earth has happened? Oh,
I
careful on the rejoin. Oh
yeah.
my
Oh
goodness.
no.
Oh, that's an appalling rejoin from the Racing Bull driver there. Hard to see down the main straight there, but that was nearly directly into the line of Matty Ayew, who does incredibly well on the oldest hard tyres
Well,
on the
that would have
grid
been
to avoid.
that would have been a wake me up moment for Matty there coming into the break lane of one of the most daunting corners you can you can have someone in front of you at. Oh,
Wow. Okay, so did you catch the tail end of that, or what happened to him?
I
How did he
did.
get spun around?
It honestly, on my end, it honestly looked like he lost it under brakes and just hit the wall.
My goodness.
Very, very interesting spot to lose it there, but sure someone will flick that in for a report.
Well, they certainly will. Meso now, with that 9-second penalty, he is set to go out of the top 10. He was on for a race win today. Twice he's put it into the barrier. Now he's staring down the barrel of essentially no points in this race.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate end for Meso there. Really did a really good job coming back through the field, but
yeah, well, aggression.
Down. Red Bull going really slow on the side of the track. That's Morty, I think, getting lapped. Okay, that's okay.
I think it is. Yeah, it was Matty Ayew for a second. Oh, more drama for us coming up. Well, it is the last lap of this race. And boy, oh boy, Cooper has put on a real show today. Stunning work for him. We'll come back to Cooper in a few moments' time as he begins the final lap of this race. Last time in this 100% race, he will go through turn 3. Ricciardo and Nova. This is going to be the question. This is going to be high-paced, octane overtaking at the end because now the jostling for position. Yeah. Can Master get past Stoyn? Can Nova get past Ricciardo? How's it all going to play out here? This is going to be incredible last lap action. I'm so looking forward to this. And yeah, I think just a quick note on that final part there. Meso drove very well in a number of laps throughout this race. Executed a good strategy, but it was too aggressive at the end of the day. Too much, too hard, too fast, and that unfortunately has cost him this. As we see, Master makes the move on Stoyn. Cooper is coming round the final corner, so we'll quickly get to this, and then we will get to the action. I'll hand it over to you for the final parts of this, but it is Cooper takes the race win at the Austrian Grand Prix. Fantastic work by that man. Let's go to the battle. Dido, round it out. Here we go.
There's only 2 corners left to get this done, and I don't think Ricciardo can. There's only one last corner, and I think Nova has done enough here to get this done. Does he have enough battery to the end?
Oh, that was close.
Seriously
okay.
Close. And that
in the meantime... In the meantime, Master has made his way past Moontime. Moontime has no answer. And boy, oh boy, that is going to be a very good points haul for the Aston Martins. Yes, they could have got P2 there. It wasn't enough. P3 and P4 for the Aston Martins. Stoyn, Moontime started well down the grid. Got, I think, 14 positions up in this race. Has finished P5. Matty Ayew. Let's check his tyres. Hold on. We've got to make sure we get this right here. Tyres, 59 laps is what it's going to be once he comes across the line, I think. No, 58 laps.
Wow.
58 laps on the hard tyres. Take a bow, Matty Ayew. Driver of the day poll is up. Please get to voting. We've got a choice between Stoyn and Matty Ayew at the moment. And wow, congratulations to Cooper. We will go to our interviews in short order. But boy, oh boy, that was a super exciting race.
Yeah, it was, mate. Everyone did a really good job. No safety cars. It's just obviously other than the BSC. But just massive hats off. A lot of penalties as expected, but very entertaining race for sure. It did not feel like 100% that one. And look at it absolutely bucketing down in the background now. So these points would be happy for that one to be finished.
Oh, we have dodged some bullets.
Your grid. Cooper P1, Nova P2, Ricciardo P3. Master P4, Stoyn P5, Matty P6, Tudor P7, Meso P8, Pep P9, Semi P10, Dynasty P11, Two Asian for You P12, SJ P13, Wogjet P14, Fat Eagle P15, Morty 16, Panic 17, JJ 18, Kiwi 19, and Gangster unfortunately retiring.
Wow. Excellent race. Fantastic stuff. And we were really throwing a curveball with the rain at the start of the race, as were the drivers, as were the engineers. That is a crazy switch up to the grid. So Stoyn does manage to hold on to P5 there. Yeah, Matty holds on to P7. P7 for Two-Door Gaming. That's a massive shout out to him. Reserving in as well for Kick Sauber. So that is a great result. Meso falls to P8. Not quite out of the top 10, but still close. Pep P9 and Dynasty P11. So it is really Aston Martin's day today, I tell you what. We're going to have our winners into the commentary box anytime soon. Cooper, Nova, and Ricciardo, please make your way into the commentary box so that we can get things underway. And then we, of course, will then continue with the remainder of the broadcast. So in the background, I will actually get us over to the chatting screen, and then we will get ourselves ready to go for these interviews. But yeah, Dido, why don't you give us a quick summary of what we've seen today? It's been a wild afternoon.
Yeah, mate. I mean, other than I've seen a lot, we've seen Cooper show his brilliance again of just keeping a calm head, not reacting to what was going around him, and yeah, just executing a very, very good race. And obviously the amount of passing with Ricciardo and Nova, I mean, those guys could take a bow. But in all saying that, mate, it was a very we saw a little bit of grey things here and there, but in my opinion, that was a very clean race for a 100% race.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, and we were looking like we were getting a safety car at some point through there, especially with the rain coming back and everyone staying out there on the slicks for a little bit. So there was a lot of possibility for things to happen. Ladies and gentlemen in chat, we will have our interviews coming up in a few moments' time. Driver of the Day poll is nearly over. Currently 11 to 3 points. Stoin, that's Moontime, looks to be taking that 100%, so that'll be excellent to see. Do have a couple of guys into the commentary box now for this. I have to reload my game, unfortunately. It decided to crash on the way out. So I've just got to reload the game so I can get the final screens up for this. But while I am finishing that off, it is the Aston Martin driver, Ricciardo, in P3. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'll hand it over to Dido for you to take us through the initial questions while I get this sorted.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Ricciardo, mate, no stranger to the comms box after a race, but just tell us a little bit about that chaotic one, mate. Obviously, you swap positions with Nova probably about 100 times throughout that race. Just tell us a little bit about, from your eyes, mate. It was pretty chaotic.
Yeah, started P7, didn't have a good quality. I hate one shot quality, man. Yeah, started from P7, but thanks to the strategy from Watanabe, the tire strategy, it was amazing. He made the right calls at the right time and got me to a P3. But yeah, fighting with Nova, man, that was such a good battle. Tried my best to keep him behind me on the last lap, but he just had more ERS. Yeah,
Yeah,
great
for the
work.
longest time there, mate, it looked like you had it in control, not having a penalty yourself. And it looked like you just had to kind of sit there. And obviously, unfortunately, getting that 3 second yourself, it became fighting for position. But yeah, I mean, the weather tonight was a big talking point. Obviously, were you guys confident in when the rain was going to stop and rain? Because we had no idea. Like, it was just so topsy turvy out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept asking like the weather on the little MFD or whatever,
Yeah.
and yeah, what's the Navy was just telling me what to do pretty much.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, that's a huge result in P3, P4. I'm sure Watanabe's stoked with that. But I'll hand you over to Crazy if he's ready for some questions.
We are indeed. Yes, thank you for that, Dido. And yes, congratulations, Ricciardo, on P3. Fantastic work there, mate. Big day for Aston Martin on this one. You've got your closest competitors ahead of you in the constructors. Mercedes, they finished 9th and 11th. You guys finished 3rd and 4th. That's got to feel good. There's only a 30-point difference. We're in round 12, heading towards the end of the season. This has got to mean a lot and bring you guys a lot of confidence going into the next few races.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close battle for the constructors, and great job for Master for coming back after not so great strategy, but yeah, amazing work from us today.
Yeah, and of course, in the Drivers' Championship as well, for you personally, you're now in P2, behind Pep by about 27 points or so, and this is going to be another launch up the field for you. You got P1 out in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix last time out, so P2 would have been great here for the points, but that's a massive offset. You're nearly at the point where Aston Martin is leading both the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, gonna have to put in a bit of more work to get there, but yeah, great result today.
Excellent. Well, big congratulations from everyone out there on the grid. Well done. Thank you very much for jumping into the commentary box. And now we're going to head over to our P2 finisher. It's the Ferrari of Nova. And I think Ricciardo may want to stay in for this one as well. Nova, welcome to the commentary box. Hopefully you can hear us and we can hear you. Congratulations on P2. And similar question that Dido asked Ricciardo. How was that battle? It was back and forth, and we didn't know who was going to come out on top.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be here. Yeah, it was fun. I didn't know it was the GOAT Watson giving you some race engineering. Shout out to him then. But yeah, it was a fun battle. Uh, I didn't think I thought because I knew I didn't have the pace over him. I knew he had more pace than me. I could tell out of turn 4, he was always earlier on throttle. It was getting to me the whole race. But yeah, I thought he had more ERS going into the final lap. So I was sitting there going, "Oh, I don't have it. There's no chance, no chance." And then I was able to get it. It was good fighting, great battle the whole way through. We were working really well. Cooper was absolutely gone. We were DRS training the whole time, and he still dropped us, which is crazy. But yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed that race. It was clean. It was good. That's everything you want racing to be. Hard,
Absolutely.
good, fair.
Absolutely. And of course, for Ferrari, that's a really good result as well. One of the best Ferrari results of the season. Now, you qualified in pole position on the one shot there, which is a really difficult qualifying format. And then you found yourself on the wet tires, as I remember it, and then suddenly back in the pits and suddenly behind your teammate and at the back of the field. What was the moment that things clicked and you went, "Oh, I need to be on inters"?
As soon as I asked Mark that it was that was intercondition. I mean, I was talking to my teammate and I think he was trying to figure out some issues that he had, but it said wet, I went wet, and then I realized behind me two guys on inters, and I asked Mark, he says inter, I'm like, okay, it's a VSC. This is the one time I have to box. I have to take it. And I thought it was the right strategy. I had no issue with it. Just had to stay calm, and I pretty much flew through everyone, and it seemed like I had more pace than my teammate, so he let me undercut him, and I worked from there, and I knew I had to stay with Ricciardo, so
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Good race.
Fantastic, yeah. And of course, your teammate, Moontime Stoin, who is the full-time Ferrari driver in Div 4, he got driver of the day today. He was up, I think, 14 or 15 positions in the race, so he did really well. Started on the inters, so he made the right decision. He's one of 4 drivers at the start of the race who started on the intermediates, and he was able to make that progression all the way up there as well. So obviously, congratulations to Stoin on the driver of the day, and congratulations to you. I'll hand you over to Dido for some more questions.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, I don't know. You've pretty much covered everything, but I will ask that one question. Obviously, we saw you were on that medium tire opposed to Ricciardo on the hards, and you're on the exact same sort of strategy there with when you guys pitted. And I did say I felt like you might have been a little bit frustrated with not being able to break away there on those medium tires. Is that the case, mate? Because it definitely looked like at the start when you came out, you were really pushing to try and break away, but it just didn't go that way until obviously the end of the race where you got him at the end. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it all matters if you're leading at the end, right? So
Yeah, that's
I think
it.
it was good, but yeah, that's exactly it. I went for the medium. I should have went for the hard. Realistically, 30 laps is too many or however many it was. It was too many on the medium. I think they were like 55% by the end, but
Yeah.
worked out. I think I absolutely was trying to, but as soon as I think 2 laps in of me leading of me and him, and I couldn't drop him, I knew it was gonna be impossible. No point in trying again. So just
Yeah.
making sure I was consistent with the tires and not over pushing because I don't want to puncture.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, that's all from me. I mean, a huge hats off from that drive, and obviously keeping your cool head for a 100% race like that. Yeah, big hats off to you, mate. So, huge result for you and Ferrari, and I'm sure you'll be getting some phone calls for some TPs soon.
Oh my God, I thought I have a seat. I thought I am the full-time driver.
Well, I think you are. Did you get signed or?
Has the
I
media
don't
paddock
know.
not caught up with the news?
Yeah, we might not have caught up
Maybe,
yet.
I don't know. I thought I was the full-time driver. It's fine. Whatever, as long as I can
Probably are,
race.
mate. It's probably a mistake on my end. Don't stress. But yeah, no worries, mate. We'll see you next week, and huge hats off from me.
Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you for commentating the whole race.
Thank you, Nova. Cheers.
mate.
Yeah, so there's worse ways to be told that you're not driving for a particular team, and ways that you get told that you are driving for a team in Oscar Piastri's case. Anyway, before I raise the spectre of anything else, let's move on to the kick salver. It is Cooper. Cooper, welcome back to the commentary box yet again. You lit up the timing screens all the way through the end of that race. Big gap towards the end. You're going to give us your standard one-word answers, I'm sure, but congratulations from us. How did it feel at the end of the race?
Slow for me. Tyres were starting to die, and yeah, I was just cruising.
Fantastic. Yeah. So right at the beginning, obviously you were fighting with Mesa. Now Mesa was driving aggressively throughout. He was really pushing the front end of the car into the corners. You didn't seem. I don't know if it was lack of confidence or you just didn't want to overtake him initially. What was the feeling sitting behind Mesa at the start of the race?
So I didn't feel like overtaking at the start. I was more so trying to force Mason into a mistake, which I think he did himself, overheating those rear tyres. And then, yeah, it's got fortunate enough that the rain stopped, which saved my race. Otherwise, I would have been complaining the entire race about the rain. I hate
that's
it.
right. Yep, absolutely. We know well that you are a person who's mastered the dry but does not enjoy the wet racing. When the rain was starting to fade away and we saw the hard tire that Mesa was on start to just rapidly arrive at your rear wing, you were on the medium tire. Could you give us your perspective on what was going on between the medium and the hard when the rain was sort of getting less?
I think it just came down to tyre wear. I think my rears were about 30, and I kept overshooting the corners a bit too much, and yeah, it allowed Maso to catch up. And then, unfortunately, he caught up in an accident on the final corner, which kind of ruined his race. But yeah.
That's right. So I'll hand you over to Dino in a second, but just letting you know that I think you've got enough points here to get yourself up into P4 of the Drivers' Championship. So congratulations, especially considering you came in late in the season. Dino, over to you for some questions.
Yeah, mate. Well, yeah, you basically asked him everything I was going to ask, but just on that battle at the start with Meso, it looked like you said, you were trying to force him to make a mistake. But just on that, like, at what point did you feel like you had the race in control? Because when the rain hit, you looked very uncomfortable, as you've just said. You obviously don't like the rain, but it really looked like it could have gone either way at one point, mate. So when was the point where you're like, "No, I've got this. Like, this is my race."
After the second period of rain stopped, I was very comfortable after that. Pitted for hards, and I was just in control of my own race.
Well, absolutely, mate. You did exactly that, and yeah, huge hats off. I think we've seen your teammate get P7 too, and he had a massive drive too from P19 to P7. So huge result for Kick again, and
he should be driver of the day.
Yeah, well, I think it was a lot of candidates, mate. Could have got driver today, unfortunately. Too many to pick from. But yeah, hats off from me to you, mate, and go and enjoy with your team.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
All right. Cool. Congratulations to our top three. Fantastic work by them. And yeah, Austria, full race distance, has not disappointed at all. And we look forward to the next race, which will be at Texas. So the Texas Grand Prix. Time to get the cowboy hats out, get the barbecues on, and get those Budweisers out as well for your beverage enjoyment. But we're going to have a great race over there. Dido, massive thanks to you for being in the commentary box today. Absolutely brilliant analytics from your side, as always. We'll give you a final word, and then I'll round out the stream for us.
Thank you, mate. That's my final word. And thanks for hosting the stream tonight and getting involved. We do really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone. I think we had 56 viewers at one point tonight. So that's huge for Div 4. And legitimately in half an hour, it's all starting again with Div 2. So don't go too far.
That's right. Don't go too far. Of course, you're watching Rush Racing League. It has been the Season 8 Round 12 Division 4 race at Austria Grand Prix today. Look forward to the next race at Austin, Texas. Big thanks to our sponsors, AI369, S-Nation, SimLab, and Paginian. Thank you for everyone for engaging in chat today as well. My name's George Cook, and I've been commentating alongside it's Dido. Stay tuned for more coverage as we head towards Division 2. Thank you very much. Good night, and have a great rest of your Easter.